Dr. Shishir Kumar Swai, former controller of examination, Sambapur University, and all other distinguished guests, Professor Shatrugna Mishra Madam, Government Women's College, Bhavani Patna, and other guests. We have also with us Professor Anand Mahanan, Professor, the English and Foreign Language University, Hyderabad. So now I would like to request Lalita Devi to introduce the guest and the speaker of today's session. Over to you, Lalita
Thank
Devi.
you, sir. Thank you, Panchanan Durya, sir. Warm greetings to one and all. First of all, I thank ESM family, Professor Anand Mahanan, sir, and Panchanan Durya, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I take this great opportunity to introduce speaker of today's session, Professor Dr. Ridagiri Ganeshan. Dr. Ganeshan has been an eminent professor of German. He earned his PhD in German studies from the University of Munich, Germany, and taught at CSIR, now the English and Foreign Languages University, Hyderabad, for more than 30 years. He served as head of the department, dean of school, and vice chancellor of the EFL University. After his retirement, he teaches German in the United States and divides his time between India and the US. Professor Ganeshan completed his BA and MA in Hindi literature from Art College, Usmania University. He opted for German as second language in BA. In 1967, he was awarded a scholarship by the German Exchange Service, DAR, German, to go to West Germany to obtain an MA in German studies. Later, he received a doctoral fellowship from KF Foundation, Germany, from 1972 to 1975. From 1980 to 82, he was professor of German and head department of foreign languages at the University of Mumbai, but returned to CSIR in 1982. At CSIR, he was head department of German, dean of studies, foreign languages, and vice chancellor for the years 1996-97 and 2004-2005. He was an Alexander von Humboldt Fellow at the University of Munich from 1987 to 1988 and again from 1994 to 95. He was also selected for the Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm Prize of the German Democratic Republic in the year 1990 for his scientific and educational contribution to the advancement of German language and German philology. In 2007, he took voluntary retirement and relocated to the US. Between 2008 and 2014, he taught German and Hindi in Atlanta at Emory University, Georgia Tech, and Goethe Center. At present, he lives in the United States. He does come every year for about 6 months to India to give talks and conduct workshops. Hearty welcome, sir. We are grateful for your presence here. Now, I introduce chief guest of today's session, Dr. Shishir Kumar Swai. Dr. Shishirji completed his MA and PhD in ELT from Vanavihar University, Uttarakhand. He worked as a lecturer in English in Gangadhar Meher College, Sambalpur for 38 years. He served as vice principal and principal of 2 government colleges in Western Odisha. Shishirji retired as controller of examinations of Sambalpur University. He supervised 2 PhD scholars and 4 other scholars will be submitting their thesis. He taught PG students for more than 12 years and edited a short story collection in English, which was prescribed as textbook for undergraduate students. Poetry and second language acquisition are his areas of interest. Hearty welcome, Dr. Shishir Kumarji. We are glad to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lalita ji. This is Lalita Devi, PhD scholar, Warangal, NEET Warangal, and English Support Mission guest faculty. Now I would like to request our chief guest, Dr. Shishir Kumar Swai, to speak a few words on today's session. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. At the outset, I would like to thank all the organizers, the entire ESM family, particularly Mr. Panchanan Durya, for giving me this opportunity to act as the chief guest in the webinar on facing job interview. I'm also thankful to Professor Anand Mahanand of IFLU for introducing the ESM to me. The ESM has great mentors, each one of them sparkling like bright stars. Today, we are fortunate to have Professor Ganesan as the resource person, and I extend a hearty welcome to him. Since he is well known to many who are attending this webinar, I would just like to add that he has a down-to-earth approach to various issues of education, various issues of life. He has experience. He combines wisdom with practical knowledge and makes difficult things very simple for our understanding. The importance of job interviews today can never be overemphasized. It requires skill, it requires poise and training, and many more things. Professor Ganeshan, with his vast administrative experience, is the right person to the scholars and participants present here, as he might have conducted many interviews himself. With this brief introduction, I welcome Professor Ganeshan once again, sir, and invite him to present his ideas before us. Thank you.
Thank you. So shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please.
So as they say on the TV shows, my 90 minutes starts now. First of all, namaste to everyone who has joined us to listen to my talk. My thanks to Professor Anand Mahanand and his team for taking the risk of inviting me to give this talk today. My greetings to Dr. Shishir Kumar, Sri Deepak Verma, Sri Panchanan Duriya, and also Ms. Lalita Devi. Let me first of all tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to offer you a very big theory on the topic because I don't much believe in theories. Theory only preaches, practice teaches actually. And there are lots of statistics are available, so I'm not going to bother you with numbers and percentages. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. In this talk, I'm going to mainly address the students who are listening to this talk and who are planning for the future career. My apologies to all my fellow so-called intellectuals and teachers who may also be listening to me now, but who may not find this talk to be very scholarly. So, but that's not my intention. My intention is not to display my knowledge and wisdom. My intention is to pass on to the students a little bit of knowledge and wisdom, which I do think I possess. If you are expecting me to use something like a PowerPoint, I have to disappoint you. I'm not going to use any PowerPoint. I'm one of those teachers, academics, educators who has his Google even today in his head and not only in the laptop. So I have the required knowledge. I have the required self-confidence as a teacher and a speaker. So to put it in a nice English, I have enough power in me to make my point, so I don't need PowerPoint. I'm going to keep my language very simple and intelligible to you all. If you find that my English is too simple, then tell me I can make it more complicated. So my advice to the students who have joined us here today, take this seriously. Listen to me carefully. So what you need for the next 90 minutes is what is called in the Indian educational tradition, Shravan Bhakti. Listen to me carefully. If you are as intelligent and clever as I was at your age, you will seriously start taking notes of what I'm saying. The day you have to job interview, these notes will help you to recollect the relevant strategies. Now let's go to the topic. How to face the job interview in today's globalized world. If you're looking for a job opportunity in today's globalized world, you'll have to forget the old style of looking into the job advertisements in the newspapers. That is gone now. See, today, nobody reads in the newspapers, even the matrimonial advertisements. If you want to get married, you go straight away to shadi.com. So there are 4 ways of getting a job today if you're looking for a job. Number 1 is the famous campus interview. The companies come to the campus of the university, meet the students, then they pick up some of the students, offer them employment. But not every university is able to arrange a campus interview. Number 2, this is the most used method of finding employment. It's called referrals. Referrals simply means if you know someone, let's say, for example, working in Infosys or TCS or Google or Amazon, whichever company. If you know someone who is working there, tell that person to pass on your resume to the HR department, Human Resources Department. If they find your resume interesting, they will contact you, and that is the way the process is then started. There are, of course, job websites on the internet. One of them very well known in India is the Naukri.com. There are also other websites. Of course, you can go to these websites, register your name, and then see what are the positions, job offerings they're doing. And sometimes it's possible, after seeing your resume on the website, some company may contact you on their own. The 4th thing, that is called blind application. Blind application is you don't wait for a company to announce job opportunities. You don't talk to somebody in your company. What you do is you just pick some company, go to their website, find out the HR email, or if it's possible, because of COVID, now it's a little difficult. You just walk into the company, walk into the building, ask them where is the HR department, go and personally hand over your resume along with an application saying, I'm looking for a job. If you have any opportunities, let me know. This is called blind application. Very often a blind application is successful because the company thinks that you have a lot of courage and you're very adventurous, you're very enterprising, because you are taking the initiative of walking into the company and looking for a job. Okay. How do you prepare for the interview? You have to understand one thing. It's not only the interview which plays a role, but how you prepare for the interview. It's like for any exam. The better you prepare, the better your performance at the examination. Many companies have gone to the extent of now not only announcing job opportunities, they also give you the job description and person specifications, and they also give you the eligibility in detail. And obviously, they already thought of the salary package, and they have an induction procedure and all that. Because it's all the question of money today. Today we are living in a world where profits are no more important. Nobody listens to them. That's why people don't listen to me also. Profits are not important. Profits are important. Everybody is trying to make money. And even educational institutions have been commercialized. And they try to pull out all the money from you which you don't have. So what is important is You must understand the company is not interested in wasting its time and energy with you and conduct the entire selection procedure and to feel disappointed at the end, or even after they appoint you, they feel it is a wrong appointment. And you have to understand one thing. One basic advice I want to give you: the day you start a job in your life, learn one thing. Whenever you get a job with a company, you should start loving your job, but not the company. The company will talk nicely to you. It doesn't mean anything. It's all surface talk. This is like in an Indian arranged marriage. Love your husband, but not your mother-in-law. How do you start preparing? First thing is you must have a good resume or CV, as it is called, which really focuses on your achievements and highlights all your achievements. I very often see people don't know how to write a resume. They normally go to internet, pull out some template from there, fill it in. That's not the way to do it. You need some kind of advice from people. So in case you need any advice on how to fix a resume, write to me contact me on email, then we'll see what we can do about it. Second thing is you have to fill in the application form properly, not leave any column empty. You will have to at least write NA, which means not applicable, and answer exactly what all they're asking you for. Don't suppress any information. Don't listen to people. अरे यार छोड़ दो यार को कोई बात नहीं उसको छोड़ दो कोई बात नहीं. No, नहीं छोड़ना है. You have to be very honest. And you have to sometimes write your own application. So the application form should be filled in properly, or you must yourself write a proper application. Then you need a positive cover letter. The cover letter is like the description of your product on the package. So the cover letter should show all your selling points. See, understand one thing. In today's world, you have to market yourself. That means you have to sell yourself. You are a commodity in the market, job market. So you have to sell yourself. In the old Indian culture, they said, Vidya datati vinayam. Education gives you the humility and modesty. No. Today's education teaches you how to be very assertive and very aggressive. Unless you are assertive and aggressive, you cannot get a job. So Vidya datati vinayam does not work today. So Vidya teaches you to be modest. The only men in India today who still are modest, these are people whose wife's name is Vidya. She teaches them modesty. So your cover letter should show your enthusiasm for the job. You have to first of all think positively. The biggest problem in India is many people have only negative thinking. Many people have self-pity. Many people have inferiority complex. That you have to get rid of. Psychologically, it will pull you down, it won't help you. Many people apply for a job, they have to take an interview, then they will start lamenting. They will create a psychological barrier by telling themselves, oh, I don't think I'm going to get this job. I'm too young for it. I'm too old for it. I don't have that experience. I don't have any experience. Oh, because I'm a lady, they won't give me the job. Because I'm a man, they won't give me the job. And I'm not clever enough. If you keep on telling this to yourself, you will never get a job. This is like if you keep on telling yourself to the entire world, मैं बुद्धू हूँ, मैं बेवकूफ हूँ, मैं उल्लू का पट्टा हूँ, the world will only give you a certificate. That's all. And say, fine. So stop that. Second thing, you should remember, once you're called for the interview, that means the company is finding your resume interesting, your application interesting. That is already crossing half the well. So the company knows already about you and they are interested in talking to you. So be positive. The next thing you have to do is you will have to find out what information the personnel department or the HR department can give you about the company. Now, very often what happens is in India, we go into a job interview, we know the company's name, and we apply to that company because the uncle living next door, he tells you, "Arey beta, you know, my son-in-law's cousin's father's wife's sister works in this company, you also apply." That's the only information you have, nothing else. This is like, I was talking to people at FLU, some 40 PhD scholars, and I was giving a talk to them. My first question to them was, how many of you have read that? I said, do you all have problems with the supervisor? They said, yes. Okay. You know, the relationship between a supervisor and PhD candidate is like the Indian mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. You know, very often the supervisor forgets he was also a PhD scholar. We always only hear, you know, saas bhi kabhi bahu thi, but we forget bahu bhi saas banegi ek din. So I asked them, do you have a problem? They all kind of looked at me with a silent smile. Then I said, fine. How many of you have read the dissertation written by your supervisor? Nobody. That's the first thing you have to do as a PhD scholar. Read the dissertation of your supervisor to see what was the quality of the dissertation. And then you will understand the criticism your supervisor is making about you, what you're writing. Same way, before you enter a company, go for interview, first find out as much as possible about the company. Go to the internet, go to the company itself, go to the personnel department, collect brochures of the company, watch the advertisements of the company. You know, all that you'll have to do. You should know what is the company doing, what is it producing, what are its policies on staffing, what is the promotion policy. You know, everything you should be able to get. If you go to sometimes university libraries, they have sometimes business journals. Go and look at through business journals, internet sites, and you will find some current news about the company. It's possible that suddenly you find information, this company is running in loss, they are planning to close it in 2 years. Then why take an interview with that company, get into a job? You will lose your job. Be careful. Let us go to the next point. Interview is not just interview. It's like roti is not roti in North India. You've got a naan, you've got a paratha, you've got a pulka, you know, you've got a aloo paratha. So interview is not just interview. There are different kinds of interviews. So every interview tries to find out who you are, how capable you are. That is what is important. So what are the kind of interviews? There are telephone interviews. That is how it normally starts. The company will conduct a telephone interview with you. That's nowadays very common. That is the first interview you'll have. And if you are successful, they will take you into the next round. Then nowadays, there are also, instead of telephone interviews, straight away video interviews. You go online, they can see you, you can see them. And very often a telephone interview is also followed by a video interview. After that, if you qualify, go to the next round. This is called the group discussion or presentation. And this is also a part of the selection process today. Then comes the face-to-face interview. That's an individual interview. That is for you. They are single interviews with you to find out how you are, what you are, and then you may get a job offer. So what happens is interviews can be of different kinds, different modes. Sometimes you will be interviewed by only one person, sometimes by two, sometimes even by one group of people. So you will have to be prepared for everything. Now I'll tell you something about each kind of interview. I'll give you some strategies. Telephone interview. If the interview has been scheduled in advance, they will tell you on which day, what time is your interview. You should prepare very carefully. You have to imagine as if you're going to take a face-to-face interview in somebody's office. So the first thing is dress properly. Don't sit there with, if you're a man, with your shorts and a shirt thinking below the hips, nobody is going to see you. No, that's not the case. Even a telephone interview, you have to imagine as if people are seeing you. If you're a lady, don't sit with this free size nightie. Don't do that. Dress formally. You have to create an atmosphere for yourself. Take the interview in a room, in your house, where it is quite peaceful and there's no noise around. What is important is check the connectivity you have, whether your phone is working all right, whether it can receive the call, whether your phone is charged enough, your Wi-Fi is connected properly. All that you have to make sure before the interview. Not in the middle of the interview, suddenly your battery goes down. I'm telling you all this because we Indians, we never plan for any conflict, any crisis. Only when the crisis comes, we start thinking how to handle it. Then the interview starts. You have to start with polite greetings. Imagine as if the person is sitting in front of you and talking to you. So be lively, okay? And be positive and show your interest in the job. Introduce yourself clearly and directly. When you're introducing yourself, this I have to tell most of the North Indians, they do a big mistake. Please stop from today onwards in your life introducing yourself as myself Gupta. This is absolutely wrong English. This myself Gupta is translation of the Hindi sentence, मैं Gupta हूँ. So my is myself, Gupta is Gupta, हूँ उसको हवा में उड़ने दो. The correct sentence is, my name is Gupta. That is what you have to say. I hear even educated people who have a PhD, even English professors. Myself, Dr. Mishra. Wrong English. Please don't do that. See, we have this because what we do is we take our languages, take every sentence in our language, translate word by word into English. We think it becomes English. It does not become English. Another example from North India. Sir, what is your good name? There's nothing called a good name or bad name. All our names are good names, particularly in the Hindu community. All the names are connected to some god or goddess. They're all good names. But where does a sentence come from? Aapka shubh naam kya hai? Translate word by word, it becomes English. It doesn't become English. Introduce yourself clearly, directly, do a little bit of talk. They may start the interview saying, how is the weather in your city? And things like that. The next thing is talk about your school, college education, whatever your achievements, do a self-introduction. If you're experienced, give them information on your job experience. Speak clearly into the receiver. Don't put the phone in front of you. Put it in such a way your voice is clear. You have to modulate your voice. Your voice is the only way you're showing your eagerness. So that should come out in the voice. There should be enthusiasm for the job. Your voice reveals always your personality and your attitude towards the caller. Don't forget to smile. Oh, don't tell me it's telephone he is not seeing. No, smile. Because the way you smile, your tone will also sound friendly. It makes a big difference in your conversation. Keep your resume and the job advertisement in the front of your table with a pencil and paper to make notes. And they will ask you questions going from your resume. Be ready to explain everything. So don't do this in a telephone interview. Suppose it says, so after finishing your degree, you did your internship, right? Then you say, 1 minute, sir, I will get my resume. It is in the Godrej Almara. Don't get up like that. Keep it in front of you. It does help psychologically to dress properly for a telephone interview, as I said already, as if you're facing a face-to-face interview. During the entire telephonic interview, you have to communicate to the interviewer that you are the best candidate for the position for which you are being interviewed. You have to create that impression. Your parents, I know Indian parents can be overprotective. You're seeing it since the moment we started talking. Some people have not switched off their audio. Then suddenly you hear your mother's voice from background. You know, this is happening in online education also. The student is sitting in front of the class online. The teacher is speaking. Piche se, you know, mother's voice. Are beta aur ek roti kha lo. The lady herself is a teacher. She is teaching online. पीछे से सास की आवाज आती है, अरे बहू प्याज किधर रखी. You have to stop all this. This is all bad manners. However overprotective your parents are, they have no business to sit with you in the same room when you're doing the interview. Just politely kick them out of the room. It's very important. They can sit with you when you go, you're not married, you want to go and see a boy or a girl. Yes, parents can come sit with you and watch the boy or girl, but not in an interview. Okay? They need not sit with you. And don't put on the speaker. They will tell you, hey, beta, speaker laga do, hum bhi sunenge. No, nothing doing. Don't do that. Family cannot sit there and prompt you. You know, it's happening in online teaching also. Teacher asks a question, piche se mother gives the answer. You see, these are Indian habits you have to get rid of. You're in a globalized world today. One advantage of telephone interview is that you can pre-arrange your notes to prompt you and keep you on the track. And it's very important. So be careful about these things. If you don't understand their question, don't get panicky and disconnect your phone. Don't do that. People do it. They get, worried. Then they just switch off the phone where they don't know what to do. And they abruptly end the interview. Don't do that. Tell them, please repeat the question. Can you please reformulate it? Excuse me, I have not understood it. Ask for it. One more thing, when you're doing a telephone interview, sometimes it's good not to sit all the time. You get up and walk around a little because that keeps you a little alert, and it also helps your brain to sync the left brain with the right hemisphere of the brain. So your answers will be also sharper and good. When it comes to video interview, most of the strategies I told you just now, they're useful also for the video interview. Only thing in the video interview is that you can see them. They can also see you. So with a video interview, please make sure your background is not disturbing. That's very, very important. Keep your background a little attractive, a little normal, so that they get a good impression about the room where you're sitting and giving the interview. The next is the group discussion, famous group discussion. Many of our students study well, get good grades, marks. When they apply for a job interview, then they are told there's a group discussion. They all start getting worried, shivering. Why? First of all, what is a group discussion? A group discussion is a technique used by many of the companies today, even academic institutions, to judge your communication skills in a team, in a group. They want to see how do you communicate when you're sitting in a group, because that's what you're going to do when you work in the company. So group discussion is a very crucial thing, and you may have excellent knowledge of your subject. You may have all the technical knowledge, but unless you have communication skills, it's going to be difficult, and group discussion is important. What are they trying to find out in a group discussion? This is what they want to find out. How good are you while communicating with other people? How do you behave and interact within your group? How open-minded are you? How good are your listening skills? How are you able to present your views clearly? Do you have leadership qualities and decision-making skills? How are your analytical skills and subject knowledge? Do you have problem-solving skills, and do you have critical thinking skills? How much self-confidence do you have? So that is what they are trying to find out. Now, why do most of the Indians, young Indians, have problems with the group discussion? I'll tell you something. Some of the things I'm telling you, I'll have to tell you like they say on the TV. For the first time in the world, we are showing this. So for the first time in the world, I'm telling you this. You will be surprised. but I am like that. Most of the young Indians have problems facing a group discussion because the way they have been brought up by their parents. The biggest problem in India is age is equal to wisdom. That's all. The older a person is, you have to respectfully listen to him, even if he's talking nonsense. He may be less educated than you. The formula is always listen to the elders, obey them. Whatever the older fellow says is correct because he has seen life much more than you have. That doesn't hold good today. Lot of old people have problems. They don't understand things of today's world. When I have problems, I talk to young people. When I have problems with computer, I educate myself. I ask them. I cannot go and tell them, I am old, so you listen to what I'm saying. I cannot say that. So this is very important. We have to get out of this thinking. Old people don't know everything. They know their world. They know their background. That is all. They don't know what's happening in today's world. So Indian students have problem because you will see Indian parents will teach the child to walk and talk till the child is 5 years old. Child will start walking. Arey, he's walking, everybody is excited. Chalo, chalo, beta, aaja, 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 aaja. Then the child will say, ma, ma, ma. Oh, look at him, he's saying mama, he's saying mama. Up to the age of 5, all this enthusiasm. Once the child is 5 years old, the same parents will tell the child to sit down and shut up and listen to elders. Don't talk. You cannot ask questions in a family. Sawal mat puchna. Grandfather did it, father did it, do it also. If you don't encourage a child to ask questions, the child will not learn anything. Is there any group discussion in the family at all? You ask yourself. Even those of you who have crossed the age of 40, ask yourself, do you have a group discussion in your family? Do you allow your spouse to talk? Do you allow your children to talk? It's one thing to dish out big theories on communication. What do you practice at home? There's no group discussion. I'll give you one small example. Mahesh, let's call him Mahesh, electronics engineer, joins a corporate company, per month 2 lakh salary. He wants to buy a new TV for the house. You think he will go and buy it? No, not in India. He has to go and tell his father, पापा एक नया टीवी खरीदेंगे. पापा, हाँ ठीक है बेटा, मैं सोच के कल बताऊंगा. पापा will go to the grandfather. वो महेश बोल रहा है कि टीवी खरीदेंगे नया. Mahesh is electronics engineer. Father is BSc. Grandfather is only intermediate. Okay? So, the grandfather will say, हाँ, आजकल के बच्चे थोड़े बहुत पैसे मिल गए हाथ में, सब कुछ खरीदना है. ठीक है, मैं सोच के कल बताऊंगा. Then he will go to his father, great grandfather, who is 80 years old, who is primary school educated. He will tell him. The old man, 80 years old, is sitting in front of TV, shaking his head all the time. You know, that whole day is watching TV, has nothing else to do. You know, and he feels we need a TV also because he can't see things properly. हाँ, ठीक है, नया TV अच्छी बात है, मैं सोच के कल बताऊंगा. Now, if I will ask you who decides it, definitely not Mahesh. Then now you will say the great grandfather. No, you are wrong. It's not the great grandfather. I'll tell you who decides which TV the family buys. The old man, 80-year-old, is sitting in front of TV watching. Suddenly, Kareena Kapoor will come there on commercials. Kareena Kapoor will say, LG TV is the best TV. The old man likes Kareena Kapoor. I like her also. So he will say, Acha, LG TV kharidenge. He will tell his son. The grandfather will tell his son. Father will tell Mahesh, Arey beta, LG TV kharidenge. This idiot of Mahesh, who is an electronics engineer, will go and buy the LG TV. That is the problem with the group discussion. Now, strategies for group discussion. Carry a pen and paper with you, notepad with you, so that you're able to write down the points mentioned by other people. Show a positive attitude. Be confident when you speak. Keep a positive body language. Show interest in the discussion. If possible, you start the group discussion if you get a chance. That's the best way to do it. But do it only if you understood the topic clearly. Keep eye contact while speaking. Keep eye contact with everybody in the group. Then speak clearly. Speak politely. Use simple and understandable words while speaking. Don't sound assertive or aggressive, even if you disagree with the other people. Express your feelings calmly and politely. Allow other people to speak. This is another bad Indian habit. In a group, you don't let everybody finish their sentence. जिसको बोलते हैं बीच में टांग मारना. You go to Arnab Goswami's show, you will see this. Not only all his participants do this, बीच में टांग मारना, Arnab himself does it. He will not let anybody talk. That's a problem. Don't interrupt somebody when they're talking. That's bad manners in the globalized corporate world. Wait for your turn. Then listen carefully to other people, what they are saying. Pay attention to them. Write down. Then you talk. Fine. Now let's go to the face-to-face interview. Because of COVID, this may not be happening right now, but soon it will happen. Before you go to a face-to-face interview, read your application form, read your resume, and remind yourself of what you have written in them. Can I request this parent whose child is screaming to please switch off the mic? Thank you.
Shubhranshu?
Yes, sir, I have done that. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So read your application carefully before you go to your interview. You should know what you have written there. And then I told you, find out about the company thoroughly. And very often employers feel the applicant knows nothing about the company. So use all the methods available to you to find out about the company. Read the company brochures, employer presentations, company website, all that. Go there. Then you should know how to use your English at the job interview. Now, don't worry about your English. You can't change it in 24 hours. Whatever English you have to present it. That's all. If you're getting guests, you're going to make a biryani, you can make only your biryani. You cannot make the famous Paradise Biryani of Hyderabad. That you will do one day if you put in efforts. So first of all, don't be nervous and insecure about your English. You have to look confident. You have to speak English. Don't think negatively about your English. Arey, mera Angrezi theek nahi hai. Then it won't help. Just say, yes, I know English. Whatever English I know, I'm going to use it. People have problems speaking English in India. Why? You see, when Indians speak other Indian languages, they have no problems. Some South Indian will come to Orissa, will start talking Oriya after 3 days. He is not bothered about pronunciation, intonation, nothing. A Bengali will go down to Maharashtra, speak Marathi, no problem. When it comes to English, you all get afraid because it's a foreign language. It's European language. So we feel ashamed. We don't feel ashamed about our Hindi or our Bengali or whatever it is. So what do? If you want to speak good English, I'll give you a simple tip now and then move on with the topic. Don't attend coaching, 100 courses, read 100 books on how to speak English, nothing. Only one method. Open your mouth and talk. That's all. Just open your mouth. If you're thinking your English is your problem, forget it. Remember one thing. The moment you open your mouth and start talking, your English is not your problem. It's the problem of the fellow who is listening to you. Uska problem. Problem usko de do, bas. 2 places you should not go if you don't want to open your mouth. 3 actually. One is language class. Don't go if you're not willing to open your mouth. The second thing is don't go to a job interview. The third thing is don't go to a dentist. If you don't open your mouth, dentist can't help you. That's why the Congress party could not find a dentist for Manmohan Singh for 10 years. Let's move on with the topic. What do you do with your English? First, think of questions they may be asking you. I'll give you 10 questions now. You have to prepare answers for these questions, whatever the interview is. If you can't write them down, don't worry. Send me an email later on. I'll send you the questions. These are the questions. Tell us about yourself. Number 2, what do you know about our company? 3, what are your strengths and weaknesses? 4, why did you leave your last job? 5, what is the biggest challenge you have encountered in your life so far? And how did you solve it? 6, what do you do right now professionally? and personally. 7. Why would you like to work for us, for our company? 8. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? 9. What kind of qualifications do you have? Why do you think that you are a better candidate? 10. What are you expecting from us? So prepare answers for all these short answers. You should be able to answer these questions without any hesitation and no stammering, no all those original sounds. You must be fluent. Answers can be short. However, be prepared also for other kinds of questions. Any question can be asked by anybody. This is another problem we have. All our English books teach you dialogues, fixed dialogues. We learn all that. Then we go out to the real life. Suddenly we realize the fixed dialogue doesn't work. That's the whole problem. Fixed dialogue says, what's your name? My name is Ganeshan. Where do you live? I live in Tarnaka. I live in Hyderabad. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have 3 brothers and 3 sisters. Now, when you go to real dialogue, that fellow doesn't even ask your name because somebody has already told your name. Hare Ganeshanji, how are you? No, you don't know how to answer because it's not in the dialogue. So be ready for that. Sometimes what you should do is once you prepare the answers, you have to do a rehearsal, practice it at home before you go. Tell one of your friends to sit down and listen to you. Or at that point, tell your entire family to sit and tell them, imagine it's an interview, you ask me these questions, I'll answer. So practice. If there's nobody there, you are shy, then stand in front of the mirror and practice it. Next thing, check out your travel arrangements. Make sure your flight ticket is all right, train ticket is all right, everything's correct. There's no mistake in it. Then also, if you're locally going, make sure, will you get a cab at that time? Is there any problem? And all that, be ready. It's better if one day before you go and find out where is this building of the company, where is the location. You remember when you went to your 12th board exam, the day of this exam, you and your father, you were running like mad dogs finding the exam center, which you could have done 2 days ago. So even if you're taking an exam, always go first. Find out where is the exam hall 2 days before that. Then on the day of the exam, you can reach it easily. Arrive at least 15 minutes before the time of the interview. Take with you your file. It should have your application form copy, company correspondence, directions, and your questions for them, your resume, all your documents, including your passport, your Aadhaar card today. Make sure you have read the invitation to the interview properly so that you are there right on that time. Nowadays, what the youth does it, they keep everything on the laptop. I asked them, where is your resume? Yeah, I'll show you on my laptop. Keep your hard copy. By the time you reach the interview office, suppose your laptop crashes, what do you do? So keep your hard copy. Next thing is dress properly. Face-to-face interview, dress moderately. Don't wear a flashy dress. You are not Rajinikanth or Shah Rukh Khan attending interview in a movie. So your dress should be clean, neat, and well pressed. Then have your hair trimmed properly. You may be a rebel. मैं मेरे बाल को ऐसे ही छोड़ूंगा. ठीक है, छोड़ो. नौकरी को भी छोड़ना पड़ेगा. Particularly if you're a lady, maybe you may be a feminist, but believe me, I'm the greatest feminist on this earth. My both daughters can certify that. Don't go for your hairstyle, which you may use to go to a marriage or a disco or your protest meeting. No. Please be careful about these things, and don't wear also, in the case of women, I must tell you, please don't wear too much jewelry. It's not a fashion show. And you should not look like a decorated Christmas tree. And don't use also too much of perfume. The moment you enter the room, the perfume takes over. वो सब बेहोश हो जाएंगे, फिर इंटरव्यू होगा नहीं. And even lipstick, nail polish. Don't make flashy things, not good. Then be polite to everyone whom you meet once you enter the building. Even the messenger, the peon, anybody can be of help. Greet everybody, smile at them. You know, even when you enter the lift, smile at everybody, smile at people at the reception. You never know who is who. Maybe the guy who is standing with you in the lift, after 15 minutes, he is going to be a member of the interview committee. You don't know. So keep on smiling, and look organized, carry your file and show them you're taking it seriously. And your posture should be correct when you sit, and the way you sit also gives a proper impression. Try to relax. If necessary, do some deep breathing before you enter the interview room. Wait for your turn. And most important thing, again, Indian habit. There will be other fellows waiting for the interview, 10 fellows maybe around you. Don't start a conversation with them. Till your interview is over, don't talk to anybody. Just keep quiet, look at your papers, think what questions may come. So mentally get prepared. Don't start these things, talking to other people. Where are you from? You're also applying for first time. Yeah, my uncle told me to apply for. Don't waste your time in all that. That's not going to bring you any damn thing. Second thing, then enter the room. When you enter the room, smile at everyone. Your lips and your eyes, they should have an excellent roaming facility like your cell phone. Look at everybody. Don't look at only one person there. Greet everyone. Tell your name. Please, as I said, know myself Gupta. Remember that. Then when they offer you a seat, first say thank you, then sit down. Don't sit down till they tell you. Remember, you can't pull the chair and sit down demonstratively, crossing your legs. That Rajinikanth can do, Shah Rukh Khan can do it because they are being paid money for that. But you want to earn your money. So sit down. Then they will start the interview. Wait for that. Look directly at the person who is asking you the question, and don't look towards the wall, to the roof, and outside the window. No, you must look at the person, eye contact. You remember how your English literature teacher used to teach you Shakespeare, Hamlet, Othello? Never looked at you, was always looking up at the roof because he was talking about literature, big thing. He thought he should look at the roof and talk. That's not the way to talk. We should look at it. That's why they said the English teacher walked into the classroom, wrote on the blackboard, Hamlet. Then she turned around, asked the students, you know how Indian teachers can threaten you. Come on, tell me, who wrote Hamlet? Who wrote Hamlet? एक लड़का बोला दूसरे को, मैं बोला ना ये पागल है यार. She's crazy. She writes Hamlet and she's asking us who wrote Hamlet. So eye contact is important. Then your verbal communication. Speak loud, speak clearly, and articulate all your thoughts in a logical manner. Remember also the body language plays a role. You should control your body language because very often people can not read your thoughts, but they can read your body language and they will know who you are. Then non-verbal communication is important. Don't use too much of gestures. Don't shake your hands too much as if you're getting a stroke. Don't do all that. Control your body language also. Then don't use any of this slang. This nowadays very fashionable. The way the youngsters are using American words without understanding what that is. A professor of biochemistry told me in Hyderabad, in Vidyanagar, in a supermarket, hey Ganesh, can you give me $50? I told him, Subbu, his name is Subramaniam. If you want $50, come with me to US, come to Atlanta, I'll give you $50. Here I'll give you 50 rupees. Why are you ashamed of calling rupees rupees? And what is this dude without understanding the word? Why is everybody a bro? And don't use all this slang, that doesn't impress. Speak simple, correct English. One Punjabi girl sent me a SMS message. GUD-MRNG. I tell you, young people, write full sentences. Don't be lazy. Use proper English. Otherwise, your English will never improve. You're all using a fractured English. You're lazy. Your English will never improve. I can give it to you in writing. GUD-MRNG. I called the girl. I said, Ghar mein kaun mar gaya? Why, sir? I said, you wrote MRNG, morning. Your morning, the family, kaun mar gaya? Dadaji mar gaye kya? No, sir. MRNG means morning. Can't you write morning? You don't have time for that. What are you going to achieve in life? Then I said, Acha, MRNG is morning. Then why good morning? Why not Shakar morning? No, sir, GED means good. So don't do the stupid things which everybody is doing. You send those messages to your girlfriend or boyfriend. That's okay. I'm not interested in that. Okay. Unless I get interested in a girlfriend, then the story is different. Okay. So correct words, simple sentences, don't use slang is very important. Tell your qualifications in a factual manner. If you had 70%, you say, yes, I got an MA with 70%. Don't start your Ram Kahani there. No, actually, that year what happened was, nobody got more than 75. I was lucky I got 70. Don't do all this. This is called bullshitting in the American English. Don't do this. Be factual. This is my qualification. This is what I am. Don't be ashamed of your grade. You can't change it. Okay? Then, state your job interest. Listen to them. Don't give one word answers always. Yes, no, maybe, yeah, why not? No. Give full sentences, simple sentences. And if you're a person who wants to be cleverer than the interview people, every question they ask you, you give a longer answer so that the time is running and they can't ask you more questions. That's the strategy. इसका मतलब नहीं कि बड़बड़ाना, कुछ भी बड़बड़ाना. No, what you say should make sense. Next, never answer a question with I don't know. Never say that or anything. No, what you should say is, sorry, at the moment, I'm not able to answer the question. Well, if you ask me, this is what I would like to say. So never say I don't know. They're interested in knowing what you know. They're not interested in knowing what you don't know. Or tell them, please reformulate the question. Or say, have I understood it correctly? You repeat the question in your own style. Next thing is, don't bluff. Tell the truth always. It's very important. If they tell you, do you know this program, particular program in computer? You say, well, I have a little experience about that. I'm willing to learn. Don't say, yeah, I know it. Then you may get into a trap. I was conducting a oral exam, German course, Bombay University. I was that time 35 years old. My co-examiner was 65 years old. And he was very nervous. The candidate walked in. He was my own student. I had taught him. The old man asked him, it was all in German. I'm telling you in English. What's your name? All that was fine. So he said, what is your profession? He said, I'm a doctor. Oh, good, he said. So where do you work? He said, I work in Siemens. Old man got confused. How can a doctor work in Siemens? I still thought maybe Siemens has got a medical center for the employees. So this fellow is a doctor. So the old man said, so you're a doctor, medical doctor? He said, yes. Where do you work? In Siemens. Okay, he said, what have you studied? The boy said, BCom. The old man was about to get a heart attack. Then he said, look, how can you study BCom and work as a medical doctor in a technical company called Siemens? You know what the boy said? Sir, Professor Ganesh only told us we can sometimes bluff in the exam. If you want to bluff, but cleverly. This is very important. Then, if you want time, tell them, can I come back to the question later on? Please give me some time to think about this question. Ask them to repeat the question. Be honest. And what is important is also, remember, with a difficult question, it is not the right answer which is important, but how you approach the question. That is problem solving, conflict solving. Then what is important is also, if your answer was bad, you answered a question wrong. After 2 minutes, you know your answer was not okay. Don't think of that question, forget it and move on. Ayyo, galti hogi, my God, why did I say this? Then start staring here and there. You won't listen to the next question. Interview is gone. So you will not be rejected because you answer 1 or 2 questions poorly. So move on. Then try to remain positive. Sometimes the interviewer may touch upon some things which went wrong in your life. Don't feel offended. Don't be oversensitive. And tell them, yes, it was like that, but I learned from that experience. I'm improving. Turn always a negative thing into a positive thing. And never apologize about yourself. Don't say, sorry, my English is not good. I know my pronunciation is bad. Then why are you asking for a job? So don't do that. Next thing, never criticize other people. If you're already working somewhere, don't say negative things about the company which you are leaving. Never do that. People do this. You apply for PhD with Hyderabad University. Oh, you did a MA from FLU, right? Yes, sir, but that was useless, sir. They didn't teach me anything. That is why I want to do my PhD with you. No, don't do that. Don't argue unnecessarily beyond a certain limit. Don't lose your temper. You have to be calm and assertive, but not aggressive. If you are applying for a foreign language related job, suppose it's a job where they ask for German, French, remember this. If the speaker is a non-native speaker, if it's an Indian who is doing the interview with you and he is testing your German, first listen to his German. If his German is not very good, you don't offer a better German. You won't get the job. Same thing with English. Sometimes, some of these companies, people who are interviewing, their English is not good. So listen to their English. Go with their English. Don't offer them a better English because they will get afraid you won't get the job. Then you must ask questions at the end. You are right to ask questions. Write down some questions which you want to ask them also. Because your questions will show them that you are willing to learn, you are curious, and you have to also get the information. And don't think this Indian thing, how can I ask? What will they think? No. In the corporate world, everybody has a right to ask questions. Nobody thinks. So what you should do is, if they don't talk about salary, don't keep quiet. Ask them at the end, excuse me, we didn't talk anything about salary. Can you tell me what is the salary package? I'll give you 10 questions, which you can ask them. As I said, if you send an email, I'll send you the questions. These are the questions you could ask at the end of the interview. What do you expect me to achieve in the first year if you give me the job? What do you see as priorities for me in this job role? Is there any scope in this job to get promotions, to develop new initiatives? Will I get an opportunity to travel abroad? Ask them. Is the department planning to expand? Are they opening new branches somewhere? What kind of leave is admissible for me? What is the shift system? What is the salary package I'll be offered? Don't be shy. You have to ask questions, get answers. You need not commit yourself. Suppose they say, well, we'll offer you 6 lakhs per year. Smile and say, fine, thank you. Once you send me the call letter, I will get back to you. So don't say, oh, 6 lakh, very good, I'll accept it. No, don't do that. No, never. Okay. And never beg for your position. Don't do this drama. Sir, I am the eldest son, sir. My father has produced 10 children, sir. Hey, they all have to be married, sir. And we have no income, sir. Sir, you must please give me the job. You're not begging. Don't beg. And don't discuss your personal problems. Your personal problems are your personal problems. And the moment they tell you the interview is over, you can leave the room, but ask them one question before you leave. Tell them, thank you very much for making me feel comfortable. It was a nice experience for me, but please tell me if there is something which I did not do correctly. If you tell me, I can learn for future interviews. That shows you are willing to accept your mistakes. Also, you are willing to learn. So this you have to do. Then when you get out of the room, thank everybody, get out. Then outside, before you leave the place, when you come out also, don't do this mistake, because all the other fellows will be waiting like vultures for you. Bahar aate hi hey, what did they ask you? What are the questions they asked you? Don't answer anything. Tell them, they go by, my interview was my interview. Your interview is going to be different. So I cannot tell you anything. Walk out. When you are waiting for the interview also, don't ask any fellow who comes out of the room. Kya pooche? It's not going to help you. You have this habit from your school days, college days. Exam लिख के बाहर आए ना, बाहर पूछते ना, अरे वो third question का answer क्या था? That idiot who has walked out before you, he has checked the textbook. He knows the right answer. He also wrote wrong answer, but he will make you nervous by giving the right answer now. Then you say, "Oh, I wrote here." See, once you're done the exam, as Americans say, you can't do a shit about it. You can't change anything. Just go home. That's what we used to do. I used to do. Once exam was over, I went home, never thought of the exam, took a shower, went to a movie. That's all. When the results come, I will know what did I do. Before you go, thank the receptionist. And I told you, smile at the peon. I'll tell you why. After you come out of the interview, sit there for 10 minutes alone, silently. What will happen is, after you leave the room, this man will take chai for the entire interview committee inside. When he takes the chai, gives it to them, they are discussing you. He will listen to that. Oh, bolenge, "Acha, what do you think of the candidate?" "Yeah, I think he's good. We should take him." "Yeah, actually, I think he's quite good, actually, very good. We should offer him this." And he will listen to all that. See, at the interview, they'll tell you, "Okay, the interview is over. We will write you in 3 weeks' time. We will get back to you." Now, 3 weeks, sleepless nights. All that will be solved if you smile at this peon right in the beginning. He will come out and tell you, "देखो भैया, बेफिकर घर जाओ, वो लोग तुमको select कर दिए." He gives you the first appointment letter orally. So be nice to everybody. After the interview, make some notes about the interview. What did you do good? What went wrong? This will help you for the future interviews. Write a letter thanking the company for giving you an opportunity to take the interview. Tell them you will be grateful if they will point out to any of your shortcomings so that you can improve yourself. Asking for feedback always helps you in life. If you are not selected, you need not become a Devdas. Don't go to the liquor shop. If you are not selected, fine. Then you know what you should tell. You should say, "Fine, this company is a useless company. They don't deserve me." That's all. Move on. Another company is waiting for you. Don't feel depressed. Every failure is the next step for success. Wait for the next opportunity. Continue to be positive and optimistic. If you continue to be positive, optimistic in life, you can achieve things. That is how I always thought in my life. Therefore, I was able to achieve certain things, but you forget me. Think of that man who says he was selling chai and has become something today. A big man in the country. He was always optimistic, positive about his life. Only thing is, unfortunately, he has not sent all of us that 15 lakhs to our bank account, but that's a different story. So that's what I wanted to tell you. On 15th October, I'll be speaking to you again. The topic for that talk is going to be importance of communicative skills in English for better job opportunities. I'll talk to you on 15th, why English is important. Communicative skills in English are important for getting better job opportunities. So I hope, as they say on the TV, stay with us, be there on 15th also. If you find both the talks useful, then let me know. Send me a feedback, send an email. Also tell the organizers, if everything goes all right, I am willing to add 2 more talks later on. One talk can be on questions frequently asked in a job interview and how to answer them. The other topic would be how to speak English with confidence. But starting from today, any time in your life, but I have to put a small rider because I'm just 74 years young. You're all 25 years old, 30 years old, but I'm 74 years young. So as long as I'm going to live, I don't know how many years, but so as long as I'm going to live, starting from today, anytime you are going to take a job interview, contact me. We will talk about it. I will prepare you for the interview. And I hope the strategies I have recommended today, they are useful to you to start preparing for an interview. And Since I'm not a businessman, I'm not telling you this. Otherwise, I would have told you, once you get a job and you are successfully continuing with the job, and once you get the salary for the 6th month, then if I'm still living, transfer 50% of your salary to my bank account. If I'm not there, contribute that money to Ganeshan Memorial Fund. Thanks for listening to me. Send me a feedback. My email address is simple, German Ganeshan, one word, like the German language, GRMAN, GANESHAN, not SAN, not the Tamil style, Ganeshan, German Ganeshan at gmail.com. You'll find me also on the Facebook. Go and look for German Ganesh. If you're joining me on Facebook, look at my photo there and make sure it's me. Not that you start, communicating, particularly the ladies with the wrong Ganeshan. I'll feel very jealous. You'll find also on the Facebook a group called Students of Ganeshan. You can join the group. Some 600 students of mine from all over the world, they're in that group. So you can join, you can interact with them. And whenever you feel depressed, you feel dull, go to Facebook and you will find in the Facebook a page called Swami Dukkhananda. Swami Dukkhananda. And you can go there. You will find philosophical messages, spiritual messages. It may help you. And if you want to, see Swami Dukkhananda, you need not worry. You need not go anywhere to meet Swami Dukkhananda, because Swami Dukkhananda has been talking to you for the last 1 hour or a little more. Thank you very much. I wish each and every one of you, whatever you wish for yourself in your life, I hope I'll see you all on October 15th. Thank you very much for your patience. Now I'm ready to answer questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much indeed for this wonderful, engaging, and useful session. The number of the participants was constant.
Good.
And this indicates that the session was wonderful, engaging, and useful.
Thank you.
Now I would like to request Mr. Deepak Verma to summarize the session within 2 minutes. Then we'll move on to question answer session.
Thank you.
Okay. Over to you, Deepak ji, within 2
Yes,
minutes.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Honorable guest of honor, Dr. S.K. Swain, former controller of examination, Sambalpur University. Honorable resource person, Professor V. Ganeshan, former Vice Chancellor, EFLU, Hyderabad. Honorable Professor A. Mahanand, sir, EFLU, Hyderabad. Respected Mr. Panchananduria, founder, English Support Mission. And of course, dear participants, a very good evening to one and all. The most lively and interactive session. Really, sir, I mean it. As we know that cracking a job interview is one of the most significant aspects these days. And many of the aspirants fail in it due to the lack of skills and practical knowledge required to crack an interview, no matter how intelligent the person is. But today, a respected sir has enlightened us with the most coveted aspect. I'm sanguine that all of us must have been benefited with the talk by respected sir. Thank you so much, sir, for for such a great talk by you. I'm really honored to have this opportunity to summarize this session. Now, with no delays, let us recapitulate today's talk. First of all, sir started giving us ways of getting job. He told that nowadays, like job is not published in newspaper. Do not get stuck with the papers to publish the job opportunities. Instead, you just go go to campus selection or follow some reference systems. We have some reference system. You have some reference. You can give reference of the person and you can grab a job. And many jobs are, in fact, most of the jobs are available on websites. Keep accessing websites time to time. Now we have blind application. Don't wait for company to offer you job. Instead, contact HR of the company and hand over your CVs, and they will accordingly call you back. He quoted that the better you are prepared, the better you have opportunities. Yes, that is, be productive. Have CV that focuses on your achievements. Do not leave anything blank in the form. Means fill it completely, no matter you have that or not. You can simply add on NA, not applicable, but don't keep it blank. Covering letter, there should be covering letter, and it should show your essential skills or some means something positive qualities of yours. You have to be assertive and aggressive while accessing or looking for jobs. You have to be very smart. We cannot be lazy and very simple when it comes to getting jobs these days. This time is completely changed, highly competitive. Be positive while applying for a job. You have to be very much optimistic, as sir has always emphasized throughout the session. Get personal information about the company while applying. You're supposed, or we are supposed to have prior information about the company or firm we are gonna apply for. For this, he gave an example like access Google, brochure, many other things like that. He said interview is not just interview, means there are many kinds of interviews. We have a very much common way of interview is telephonic interview, and we have now, due to COVID pandemic, video interview. Then only you will be called for next round. Now he added the strategies for interview. He said, be prepare yourself, means dress up nicely, and during video interview, you have to select quiet place, and you have to create very sound environment around you while giving interview through online mode. There should be internet connection. I mean, good internet connection. Start with polite greetings. Introduce yourself. Always maintain eye contact and greet everyone. Have a smile on your face the moment you start your interview. Do not use. He gave very good point, like usually in India we say myself Deepak Verma, myself Rajkumar. This is really highly incorrect. We have to correct ourselves. We don't have to say myself Deepak. Instead we have to simply say I'm Deepak Verma. That's it. Talk about your experiences and achievements. Voice should be audible. Have smiling appearance throughout the session. Keep your CV in front of you throughout the session so that you can quickly catch whatever you need during the interview. Do not keep your speaker turned on while sitting at home during your interview. It may cause some disturbances of sound and all. Background should be very good of your room. Now he emphasized on group discussion, which is really a very important aspect of selection during interviews. Basically, it focuses on your communication skills, leadership qualities, problem solving skills, critical thinking, and self-confidence. He overruled the myth most prevalent in India. Yes, we believe that old-aged people are always right and have more experience than young people. This thing is not always right. Yes, of course, they are right. They have tremendous experience, but not all the time. Even younger people may have enough or good experience. Finally, he means that maintain eye contact, don't sound aggressive throughout your interview. You have to be very polite. Let finish the person who is already speaking. Do not interrupt the person who is already speaking, and listen to the speaker very carefully and attentively. Now let us come to face-to-face interview. It is almost
Deepakji, please finish it up.
same.
We'll move
So
on.
due to time constraint, we cannot elaborate entire thing. Sir has already explained each and everything, and which I could see in the message box. People were sending like it is really a lively interaction and nice suggestion. So I'm stopping here myself. Thank you so much, sir, once again for your talk. Wonderful talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deepakji. Thank you so much indeed for this wonderful summarization.
Sir, there are some
Today
questions in
we
the
have,
chat box.
we have
So,
joined. Listen, okay, just a minute. Mr. Golaka Bihari Acharya, Principal, Kushaleshwar Anchalika Mahavidyalaya, Rekutia, Keonjhar, has joined us
Sir,
today.
he is not there.
May I
Sir, he is not
request
there.
him to speak?
Yes,
Okay,
left.
not
Okay.
there.
Left.
And Professor Rajgopal sir has joined us. Is there? Subhanshu? Is Rajgopal sir is there?
sir, yes, sir, he is there. Sir. He is there.
Okay.
Sir,
Rajgopal
please-
sir, namaste.
Sir, please unmute
Sir.
yourself.
Hello, sir. A very good evening, sir. This is Raj
No, no,
Kumar.
I would like to request Rajgopal sir.
He's muted actually. He has to unmute.
Huh. Okay. Okay. So now I would like to request our chief guest, Dr. Shishir Kumar Swami, to comment on this session within few words. Over to you, sir. Shishir sir.
Thank you so much. In fact, I'm immensely benefited by this session. And what should I say? If my understanding is this is one of the best sessions of my life so far as something about job, how to face job interviews is concerned. This is a wonderful session, very exciting, very interesting, very helpful for every one of us, and particularly for the students. So it's a new horizon being put before us. I think this is a very challenging session. So I want to thank Professor Ganeshan once again for this wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Rajgopal sir, namaste.
Namaste, how are you?
Fine,
Hello. Hello,
Hi.
Raju. How are you?
Fine, Ganesha, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
I listen to your talk. It's always very engaging. So
Thank you.
nice, very useful. Good tips, Ganesha.
Thank you.
You see, lots of children need many of these things in the sense that, like, you have a responsibility to help so many people today in such a complex world. Maybe while you have highlighted what they should do, how they should prepare themselves and all these things, maybe you should also slightly cope with, you did mention this, but maybe coping with failure. You mentioned that, don't worry if it is there, there will be some other company which is waiting for you and so on. Perhaps a little more of psychological support, which tells them that this is how they can overcome. Like you have mentioned so many things, like you have told that they should ask the company where their failures were, whether they could help them, help the candidate get over those failures and so on, which is very, very, very useful. At the personal level, perhaps I should think it over, mull over whatever happened, and recall the questions and my responses, and then see how I can academically improve myself, how I should read up, and maybe a few more tips like that would add to whatever you have been saying so diligently. Very fine talk, Ganesha.
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I just want to add.
yeah.
Raju, the thing is, in a talk, I generally mention these things, but what I'm doing right now is I am counseling a lot of young people.
Right.
So it's a question of the individual case also, because every human being is different. So
Right.
as and when people have a problem, they approach. What all you said, I do it at a personal one-to-one kind of interaction. I do that. And any case, thanks for your suggestion. And I hope people will not hesitate to contact me
I
if
think
they have any problems, and we'll do that. No problem. Thank you.
I'm glad you have opened the window, you see,
Yeah.
for them to contact you, and they will certainly make use of it. And
Yeah, sure.
Panchal is somebody who can muster such contacts hereafter.
Yeah, sure.
And that
Sure.
will be very good. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you. Thank
enjoyed
you.
it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excuse me,
Let's now move on to our question and answer session.
sir.
Please.
Excuse me, Panchanan sir.
Any question from the chat box, please
Excuse me, Panchanan
read
sir.
them out. Yes.
Excuse me, Panchanan sir.
Sir.
Sir, Golek sir has rejoined.
Okay, okay. Sir, namaste. Golak
Namaskar,
sir.
sir. Namaskar. Namaskar.
Okay. Please speak few words.
Sir, what shall I tell? It was a brilliant talk. I was listening at the beginning, but in the evening, usually I come to the temple. So while I was in the temple, my colleague, Professor Bhaktaram Sahu, informed me that you are searching for me. That's why I joined again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So initially, I was in the meeting. I was listening very aptly all those talks, beautiful talks. So it was necessary really. Had it been a working day, I would have intimated to some of my students so that they could have joined. It was really enthralling and enchanting one. So much thanks to you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much indeed, sir, for joining us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Subhranshu, over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And I would like to thank Ganeshan sir first for a wonderful session indeed. And yes, sir. So some of the questions of the chat box is, first question is from Arzan Azmi. Would you mind providing some light on the promotion board interview for the job holders? Over to you, Ganeshan sir.
Yeah. See, I have two requests. I would request one of you, the organizers, to, whatever has been coming in the chat, if you can please copy it and send it to me as a message. I would like to read those comments. That's my
Sure, sir.
request.
Sure.
Second thing is, whoever is asking the question, can we ask that person to switch on the video so that I can see the
Exactly,
person?
sir.
Sure,
That will be
sure.
better.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I
Arzan,
want to see who
Azmi?
is asking me question. And now we are starting with Azmi. Please tell us who are you very shortly. Are you a student or a teacher, and where do you live? Then ask me the question.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. I
Good
am
afternoon.
a research scholar at the EFL University. I'm from Bangladesh. I'm working with Anand Mahanan, sir.
Okay.
I'm in the process of writing.
So what is your question?
So my question is, since I will go back, I have to face the promotion board and all. I want to have some light on these aspects, that how can I face and show my improvement that I have achieved the long through 5 years in India.
Okay. See, what I will have to do is, I cannot give you an answer to that right now, because as I was explaining to my friend Rajgopal, you send me an email, send me your resume, send me a description of the college or university where you're working. If they have a website, send me that also. And then we will talk, and send me your phone number also. You need not call me, I'll call you. Then we will discuss what individually what is your situation, what are your problems, and then I'll be able to give you very, very concrete kind of suggestions. This is how we will do it. Because there are some questions, there can't be a general answer to that, because it depends on the individual's situation also. You see? So we'll do that. Please get in touch with me, and I will definitely, give you whatever suggestions I can give you. Okay? We'll do that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Next question.
Shatrupa ma'am, your question, please. I would like you to ask.
Thank you, sir. It was a really absorbing session.
Can you
and
please switch on?
interspersed
Can you please switch on your video first? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Now tell me about you and ask me the question. Okay. I'm listening.
I am an assistant professor of English posted at Government Women's College, Bhawanipatna, Kalahandi. No. And I have been working since 2011. My question was often in the interview board, a psychologist whose task is to observe the candidate from a distance. And often while facing or preparing for the interview, we are told that you have to be very conscious of what the psychologist might observe in your body language and your manners, and it has a significant bearing on the decision that the interview board takes. So could you, sometimes it makes us afraid to think of what the psychologist might be judging. So could you tell us a little more about the psychologist who is part of the interview board?
Okay. You see, yes, nowadays some companies do this. Now, first thing is, I see all my answers will be absolutely not Indian style. They'll be very German. So be ready to take it. Okay. It'll be very frank and blunt. Number one, you're not going to get married to the psychologist. Number one. Number two, this psychologist is in your life for about 30 minutes. Then he collects his money and goes. Number three, all the psychology we are doing in India has nothing to do with the Indian way of thinking. Like we are doing also in other subjects, everything is imported. And those of you who have done a B.Ed, you know that there is a subject called child psychology. They will teach you all kinds of things there. And all that what they teach you is based on books written by the Europeans and Americans. Basically, they write books for their children. Of course, they are clever to market it internationally. That's why in India today, you don't eat your samosa with chutney, you eat it with tomato ketchup. This is how new colonialism is going on. Okay, so all that you learned in the B.Ed about psychology, when you entered the classroom, you would have seen it doesn't work. Because Indian children are Indian children. Therefore, all the psychological analysis they do, they're all based on Western theories, Western models, and you should not worry about the psychologist at all. Forget him. He doesn't exist. You see, it is like when a movie star is acting, he doesn't look at the audience. You know, that's why even in a drama, they switch off the lights for the audience. The audience can see the actor. The actor doesn't see the audience. They don't exist. So your interview, you should perform the way you want. After all, you are what you are. Okay? You cannot change yourself to please the psychologist for 30 minutes in your life. That you should not be doing at all. That's not the right thing to do. So best thing is to psychologically handle the psychologist, forget him. He doesn't exist. You see, this is what is important. You see, I'll tell you, this is because there is something called a ECG test in India for the heart, you know, EKG or ECG, whatever they call it. When Indian men go for this test, 99% of the men, they come out with a test result which says the heart is not all right. There is some problem. You know why this happens? This is because when he is sitting there, the test is being done. He should do his test. He should not look around at all. But what does the man do? He looks at the beautiful nurse who is doing the test. So obviously, uska dil dab 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 bol ke badh jata. So that is reality. So go to your Bhagavad Gita, read it again. It says Nishkama Karma. That is, you have to have a detached attachment, attached detachment. See, karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Do your best. and things will be all right. And don't think whatever the psychologist says, they will take it 100%, not necessary. See, you know your famous confidential report of your department? What your head of the department sends to the university? How confidential is it? You see? So you shouldn't be unnecessarily worried about these things.
Unmute. Hello.
Hello, who is this? Okay. So, yes, if you want to know that, I mean, if you are still worried, what you should do is you should read some articles on, the psychology of the interview. Okay. Send me an email and we will see what we can do about it. That's very important. And what you have to understand is also this. We talk about openness, frankness, critical attitude, but let us be honest. These things are very, very difficult to practice in India. What ultimately counts, even the corporate sector, even though they do as if they are not like that, there's always a little bit of mukhastuti, pleasing the ego of the person. That is part of our culture. We do it always, that, particularly with elders, right? You see, during my times, my parents used to talk to each other. As a child, you listen to all the adult talks, not like in US or Germany. They used to talk negative about some uncle. Okay, some chacha. Oh, badmash hai. Daru pita hai. Logo se paise leta hai. Ullu hai. Sab. Then next weekend, they will take me to the same chacha's house and tell me, chacha se pranam le lo. Namaskar karo. Be like idiots, we used to do it. Today's child will not do it. Today's child will turn around, tell you, आप लोग तो बोल रहे थे ये उल्लू का पट्टा है, बदमाश है. Why should I do namaskar? The world is changing. So you should be ready for that. Okay. So write to me, then we will look into it and maybe I'm able to send you some kind of materials which may make you feel more comfortable. You see, you have to understand one thing. I am assuming, maybe I'm wrong, I am assuming that your marriage was an arranged marriage. So when the boy's family came to see you, I'm sure there was one old lady along with them, the aunt. She was the psychologist. Were you worried about her? No. You just looked at him. You liked him, right? And he also thought, ek ladki ko dekha to aisa laga. That's all. It's done. And you will find out later on, if you talk about that aunt after marriage, they will say, oh, that aunt, she's a useless one. She's a nuisance. But they will bring her. You see? Sometimes there are nuisance factors in life also. But we should not lose our calmness. You should never. That's why I said, if you're not selected, then you say, this university does not deserve me. There's something else waiting for me. Any case, send me an email. We'll talk about it. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Next question, Subal sir.
So the next
Pardon?
question is from Rajkumar Singh, sir. I would like to request him to turn on his video. Rajkumar Singh, sir.
Thank you so much. First of all, I was very afraid whether I could get chance before my battery drains. So thank you so much.
Can you please switch on your video before the battery drains?
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, I want to see you.
Yes, sir. Sir, here I am.
Yes,
sir. I just wanted to thank you. And there are a few questions. There are, I think, three questions that I have.
Please remove your photo. I want to see you.
Okay, sir. Actually, I have 5% of battery. Therefore, I was, putting it off. So I just wanted to, ask that if I am going to appear in the final assessment for Teach for India. So, they are asking me to teach only 5-minute lesson. So I don't know how I'm going to perform it and, how it is going to be. But I was just asking you that could you please suggest me that how should I prepare my last problem and there might be problem solving activities. So how should I prepare for problem solving activities personally? And how should I prepare myself to teach only 5-minute lesson plan in the last assessment?
You mean 5 minutes, you said?
Only 5 minutes, will be given to me to teach my plan, to teach my lesson, to fix class standard.
First of all, you have to get out of this negative attitude. You have a lot of negative attitude about yourself. Get out of it.
Yeah.
You have to think that you are the hero. You're not a group dancer. Okay?
Right.
If you keep on telling, how can I do it? It's difficult. No, you will never be able to. Number one. Number two. Do you know what is TED Talk? Have you seen it? Do you know what it is?
Yes, sir.
So what do they do on the TED Talk? They come and tell you about some big problem in 15 minutes. That's all. Okay? But some of the talks are quite impressive. So the question is not the minutes. After all, you ask yourself, you went to school, right? You went to college. You had a class for 45 minutes. Okay?
Right, sir.
How many of your teachers really taught you something useful during the 45 minutes? They taught you only for 5 or 10 minutes actually. Rest of the time, kuch to bakar rahe the wo log, bada rahe the. So you listen to it, no?
Right, sir.
So you should know how to do it.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So what I need is, see, these kind of questions, they can't be a general answer.
Okay.
You know, my way of counseling is like homeopathy, not allopathy. The homeopathy doctor has to know more about the patient. Then he will give you the medicine. Allopathy gives the same medicine to everybody. पेट में दर्द है, ये गोली खा लो. सर में दर्द है, ये खा लो. No, that's not the right thing. So, if you will write to me, give me more details. What is the company? Right?
Right.
What you mentioned, it didn't sound like an educational organization for me, but maybe it is one of those online education business. I don't know. So send me all the details. Tell me exactly what the problem is. Then I'll be able to give you a more concrete answer to your question. Only thing I'll tell you right now is stop doubting yourself. Don't do that.
Okay, sir.
Always tell yourself. That's why go and see some of the old Bollywood movies. उसके गाने जो है ना, उसमें से आपको बहुत सारा एडवाइस मिलेगा. आजकल के गाने में कुछ नहीं है. आजकल के गाने सब बकवास होते हैं. पुराने जमाने के गाना जाके सुनो. हर एक गाने में कुछ ना कुछ मैसेज है. तो आपको हमेशा ये बोलना चाहिए, हम किसी से कम नहीं, और आगे बढ़ते रहना. ठीक है? Send me the details. I'll give you an answer. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. There are no more questions in the chat box,
Good.
but I have a question personally, sir. Shall I ask?
Sure.
What is the difference between a resume and a CV and a biodata?
Well, these are three different terms, and a resume is normally supposed to be short. Okay?
Okay.
Whereas a CV and a biodata, they tend to be longer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
This is like your synopsis for the PhD dissertation and the first version of the PhD dissertation and the final version. So a CV, is, or a biodata is something like the full dissertation. Whereas the resume is something like a synopsis. Since the companies don't have much time, they want you to give in a nutshell what you are. Okay? That is the difference. So it's also a question of number of words and pages, actually. In the academic circles, we don't use the term resume normally. Nowadays, they're using it. I don't know why. We normally use the term CV, curriculum vitae. That is a Latin term. Or a biodata. It's basically like your autobiography, where you will tell everything about yourself. Okay? If you send me your email address, it may not sound modest what I'm telling you. I will send you my CV which runs into about 50 pages. Okay?
Okay.
That is because in a CV, as an academic, you have to show everything. ये ऐसा है, resume is like a पान का दुकान. CV is a supermarket.
Okay.
You write to me, we'll talk about it more. By the way, I must also tell you one thing, because I brought in the panwala. Don't trust also anybody, including me. Listen to people, take what is good for you. What you think is not good for you, leave it. Just because the other fellow is doing something, this is a message I want to give to all of you. Stop comparing yourself with other people. Never do that. Each human being is unique. You see, a dog is a dog, elephant is an elephant, lion is a lion. Okay, tiger is a tiger. But the Indian parents think everybody should be a tiger, you know, or everybody should be a monkey, or everybody should be an elephant. You can tell a monkey to climb the tree. You can't tell an elephant to climb the tree, right? So when you are young, they will pressurize you. Arey, Sharma ji ka beta dekho. You will get 60 marks maths. No, they are not happy. क्यों? वो शर्मा जी का बेटा आपका विलन है वो. देखो शर्मा जी का बेटा उसको 70 मिला. You get 70. शर्मा जी के बेटे को 80 मिले. आपको 80 मिला. शर्मा जी के बेटे को 90 मिल गए. You are not living for Sharma ji's ka beta. You're not living for Sharma ji's. You're living for yourself. So if your parents are like that, if you're young, they still do it with you, go to them, tell them, आज वो एक गणेशन आए थे, कुछ बोल रहे थे, वो हमको बताए, आपसे बात करने को. Go and sit in front of your parents, smile at them and tell them, आप रोज मुझे सताते हो, शर्मा जी का बेटा, शर्मा जी का बेटा, शर्मा जी का बेटा. मुस्कुरा के बोलो, मैं आज से उस दिन का इंतजार करूंगा जिस दिन आप लोग मुझे बुलाएंगे और बोलेंगे, देखो बेटा, शर्मा जी का बेटा कल्पना से प्यार कर रहा है, तू भी जाके उसी से प्यार कर. That's it. Okay? Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
So now that don't have any further questions from any participants, right? So now I would like to request Ankit Ratha to offer a formal vote of thanks.
Yeah, and please remember, somebody should copy the chat and send it to me.
Sure,
Email
sure,
it to me. Yeah, please. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Over to
Yeah.
you, Ankit.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. You are.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So good evening once again, everyone present here. So I'm so glad to have this opportunity today to extend my thanks to such esteemed personalities today. And it's also a good opportunity to actually get to talk to people who have been in EFLU before I could have the chance to go to the campus even. So I would take this as a great opportunity for that. So I thank Panchanan sir for giving me the opportunity to address them and thank them on the behalf of the English Support Mission. So I begin my vote of thanks by first expressing my gratitude to Professor V. Ganeshan for such an enlightening talk. And it was done in a really lucid manner and not made very complicated, which he could have done if he wished to. So thank you. I would like to thank you for that, sir. This talk on facing a job interview was very enlightening to me, as I'm sure it must have been to our participants as well. So on the behalf of the ESM family, I would like to thank you for this great talk and for your time as well. I would now like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Shri Kumar Swain, for introducing the session today in such an amazing manner and for his invaluable comments post the talk session. And we are graced by your presence here today. I thank you on the behalf of ESM family. And finally, I would like to thank Dr. Anand Mahanand, without whom this webinar series would not have been possible to even begin. And I would like to thank you on behalf of the ESM family for your indispensable efforts to make this venture, the English Support Mission, very successful. I would like to thank you for that. And I cannot, not thank the coordinators who have always done their best to give our participants as well as our guests and speakers the best way to interact, as and their efforts have are indispensable for the sessions that have been done and the ones that are coming. So I would like to thank them from the bottom of my heart, and also to the participants without whom we would have nobody to really educate. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here with us. And finally, I would like to thank Mr. Panchanand Duria and Mr. Lingraj Pradhan sir for bringing us all together, and so that we could have this opportunity to get enlightened and enlighten others. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are muted, Panchanand sir. Thank you, Ganeshan sir.
Thank you.
Panchanand sir, you're muted. Please unmute so that we can.
Thank you so much, Ankit, and I very much thankful to Professor V. Ganeshan for this wonderful session, and I request him to do more sessions because we have been receiving queries and requests from our participants since the session started. So I am pretty sure that sir will respond to our request.
See, can I respond to that? I'll tell you two things. One old example, one new. I'm always available to you because I am a so-called South Indian Brahmin Iyer. So I know my lungi dance, and पंडित का काम यही होता है, जो भी बुलाएंगे उनके घर जाना, वो जो बोलेंगे वो करने का है. ठीक है, शादी करना है तो शादी करवाएंगे हम, ओके, और षष्ठी अब तो पूर्ति कराना है करेंगे. मैं श्राद्ध की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ because we don't want to kill anybody. So I'm ready there and for you. And if you will know, maybe you know it yourself or ask your parents, in All India Radio, there are some people who are appointed as a station artist. ये station artist का काम यही होता है, जब भी वो बाहर से लोगों को बुलाते हैं कॉन्सर्ट देने को, अगर वो बंदा आ नहीं पाया ना, तो station artist he sings. So you can consider me as your station artist also, or as your pandit, whatever you want. And the famous book says, ask and it shall be done. So don't worry, I'm there. Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed, sir. Thank you. We are blessed. Today we are blessed to have you.
Thank you.
Today.
Thank you.
And again, I'm thankful to our chief guest, Dr. Shishir Kumar Swami, for joining us today. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Every single participant, every single coordinator.
Excuse me, sir. Panchanand, sir.
I'm really thankful to you all, and particularly, sure.
No, sir. Actually, we are having.
I want to thank Professor V. Ganeshan for this wonderful talk.
Just a Subransu, sir is speaking.
Wait.
No, once again, I would like to thank Professor V. Ganeshan for his wonderful talk, and I would like to hear him again and again. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your willingness.
Thank you
to
very
be
much.
available.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Sir, the chat box.
Yeah, over to.
We don't know how to save it. Does anyone present over here can help us with that to save the chats? We are having a problem with that.
Sir, might also get a document with the chats saved. So don't worry about that. You can just forward the document to sir or to me, anybody.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise, we have a WhatsApp group. They can post their queries and question on the group itself.
So that they can do, but whatever they have said now in the chat, that would be also a good feedback for me. That's why. Okay. I think there must be somebody who will know how to cut and paste it. You know, the younger people know these things.
Sir, we have a screenshot already, so I'll just type that and I'll mail it to you. No problem. From the English support.
Yes, or send me the screenshot by email. That's okay. I can expand and see it.
Okay.
Don't type out everything. It'll take a lot of time.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, don't type, because I know I passed my typewriting higher and shorthand higher, so I know what it is. So don't type everything now. Just send me the shot. Thank
Okay,
you.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
sure.
Thank you
Bye.
so much,
Thank
Deepak
you.
ji,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
And
much,
have
sir.
a nice day, all of you.
And,
And I will see you on 15th.
sure,
Okay.
sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much,
Bye.
sir.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, Anand
Bye.
sir, for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much,
Sir.
sir,
Bye.
everyone. Good evening.
Thank you.
Bye.